Ashoka the Great was the third king of the Mauryan Empire, best known for his renunciation of war, development of the concept of Dhamma and the promotion of Buddhism, as well as his effective reign of nearly pan-political identity. At its height under Ashoka, the Mauryan Empire stretched from modern-day Iran through almost the entirety of the Indian subcontinent. Ashoka's reign covered the majority of the Indian subcontinent, excluding parts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Throughout his lifetime, Ashoka made great efforts to expound his policy of Dhamma. The basic principle of Ashoka's Dhamma is as follows. People should be able to live in peace and harmony with one another, and this vision was communicated by engraving it on edicts. In fact, the principles of Dhamma are very much represented today. The Ashoka Chakra was included in the tricolour by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to honour the warrior turned pacifist Buddhist emperor. The national emblem is an adaptation of the lion capital of Ashoka at Sarnath. Both the Ashoka Chakra and the Sarnath lion are symbols of just rule. This is a tradition entrenched in Indian society since time immemorial. In independent India, a constitution distilled this concept. It's highlighted in the preamble itself. Justice stands for rule of law, absence of arbitrariness, and a system of equal rights, freedom and opportunities for all in society. India seeks social, economic and politic justice to ensure equality to its citizens. In contemporary politics, though, a symbol of just rule is installed in parliament in the form of the Sengol. Speaking of the Sengol, it originates back to the Chola dynasty of South India, one of the longest ruling dynasties in the world. It's a symbol of just and fair rule and has been used to mark the transfer of power from one king to another in the Chola dynasty. The spectre is 5 feet in height and features a Nandi or a bull on the top, which is the Vahan of Lord Shiva, and depicts moral righteousness. It signifies the quality or state of being morally correct. It was installed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 20th of May 2023 to mark the inauguration of the new parliament to guide governance by our Sansads. Today, the Sengol installed next to the Speaker's chair in the Lok Sabha has emerged as the latest flashpoint in Parliament after opposition MPs questioned its relevance in a democracy. While BJP accused them of disrespecting Indian culture, the ongoing debate on Sengol was triggered by Samajwadi Party MP R.K. Chaudhary, who wrote a letter to Om Birla, Speaker of the House. In the letter, Chaudhary urged the Sengol to be replaced by a copy of the Constitution, deeming it as an anachronist symbol of monarchy. Well, SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav doubled down on these remarks, though, stating the PM forgot to bow down before the Sengal while taking oath, and therefore the statement was a reminder of that. In fact, we are, of course, asking that big question on the broadcast, that what the reason for the problem with the Sengol is, and if we can put the Ashoka Chakra and in the flag and emblem, why do we have a problem with the Sengol? Why should Emperor's Ashoka symbols be premier, and why shouldn't a Chola king's symbols be honoured in a similar manner? Remember, Emperor Ashoka did not rule southern India. Is it only fair then that southern India's rich history and culture is also represented in national consciousness? Joining us at this point is Dr. Kaushal Kant Mishra, spokesperson of BJP. Ramaswamy Meyyappan, lawyer, joins us live. George Kurian, political analyst, is live with us. Sanket Yanagi, political analyst, is also with us on the broadcast. Let me bring you in here first on Dr. Mishra, what you make of this opposition to the Sengol now being made by certain opposition MPs?
Actually, in my opinion, opposition is issueless. They don't have anything to say. Now they are bringing the issue of Sengol, which is related to our heritage, our culture, everything of Indian culture. When it comes to mainstream, always it's character of Congress as well as this Indi Gathbandhan. They always try to bring down the, I don't know why they are opposing this Sengol culture. It is not the culture of BJP. It is not the culture of NDA. It is the culture of our country, which is thousands of year old culture. Why they are opposing? We don't know why they are opposing. And even they don't know. It's all because of politics, nothing else. In my opinion, if we go on the issue, it is just the transfer of power. And it was started at the time of independence, when Lord Mountbatten asked Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru that how to transfer the power. Then Jawaharlal Nehru was not knowing anything. Then he asked Mr. Raj Gopalachari, who is an expert in Indian history, culture and everything. Then he find out that this was the tradition for thousands of years in our country that when there is a transfer of power, the one king transfer power to another king through this Sengol, and this predict the basically justice, nothing else. And it has got Nandi on the top. That is the main problem for this Indi Gadbandhan, because they always oppose anything which depict the Indian culture, Hindu culture. Wherever there is Indian, old Indian culture and Hindu culture, it's always opposed. I want to ask that if we go on the first constitutional copy, we find there is Ram Darbar, there is Hanumanji, there is Shiva, there is Buddha, there is many cultural thing. So what they want, they should also be get removed. They don't want, they don't want to connect it with their history. Actually, it is nothing else but their shrewd, cheap politics, nothing else, not more than that.
Cheap politics, it's nothing more than that, is what you're clearly saying. Sanket Yanagi, let me bring you in here. These are cheap politics. Why is the opposition indulging in, says the BJP? Sanket, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having trouble there with his connection. Let me bring in Ramaswamy Meyyappan into this broadcast. Ramaswamy Meyyappan, should anyone have a problem with the Sengol in Parliament? What do you make of this controversy that has arisen so soon into the 18th Lok Sabha functioning?
A very good evening to all my sisters and brothers in India. I find it first surprising that a parliamentarian says that he doesn't find place for a constitution but finds place for the Sengol. You'll have to realize from the very first instance, the Central Hall has had the parliament, has had the constitution, and once the Constituent Assembly was debating it, the modified version of the constitution was placed in the Central Hall, and the constitution continues to remain at the Sansad Bhavan and at the new parliament as well. The constitution has its right place, and we all know constitution is sovereign as far as our country is concerned, the republic is concerned. And the Sengol demonstrates two things. One is the cultural ties to this country. This country was not just merely born out of sheer fight between several Indians against the British. It's not just against the imperialists. There's a lot more struggles that these people have gone through. So to demonstrate that struggle and how that transition took place, and to demonstrate that transition of power is what the Sengol demonstrates. And for someone who can't understand the importance of it, they will have to go back to the words of Rajagopalachari, and they'll have to see what was the significance and why the Sengol had to be brought in, and how it was modified and placed in the parliament originally, and then transferred to the Allahabad Museum. And the importance being brought back to the new parliament with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi being in office, demonstrating the significance back to the people of India. So I find it strange that a parliamentarian who ought to be more responsible and more informed, being the representative of the people, should know that both the constitution and the Sengol have its appropriate importance. It's not that one takes place of the other. That's first. And second, I find it very critical and very hypocritical on their part. Whenever there is celebration, at least as far as the Samajwadi Party, I've seen turbans being put, I've seen crowns being placed, I've seen swords being gifted. I'm not sure where this culture comes from. Is that part of the culture that they see in the constitution, or is this merely political statements that they want to make? And I find it culturally inappropriate that they take a Sengol, which is very sacred across certain parts of the country to certain people, and the manner Sengol has been used by the Cholas and other kings across the country, even the Vijayanagara Empire, the Chera Empire, and all that. And even today, let's look at the scepter. The scepter is used by judges across the country. So where are we looking at the scepter from? It's a symbol. That symbol has a meaning, and we are looking at the meaning. And today they fail to realize the meaning. They just find another political reason to blame the government today. They do not have any concrete reason to question the government today. After having come to office, they were saying that within 10 days, within a week, this government will fall. They don't have anything politically to go back to the people today. They find a stable government. They're coming up with a new issue. That is all it merely is. It's merely political. They do not have any issue in substance. If they have something in substance, let them place that on record. Even the letter sent to the pro tem speaker, I do not find any merit.
Yes, let me quickly draw in George Kurian at this point as well. George Kurian, it's a very bizarre reason that has been cited by the Samajwadi Party MP, in fact, and it's another reason that has been cited by his president. in Parliament. Why this objection to the Sengol all of a sudden, George Kurian? There are some within the BJP who are asking, where was this opposition last year when the Sengol was actually installed?
Well, good evening to all my co-panelists, to you and to your audience. We strongly believe that, this is this topic that has come to the fore and has been raised by the Samajwadi MP has substance to it, because the significance of a single in the parliament holds no relevance in today's day. India is a republic nation, and we are governed by the Constitution of India. So we need to give more importance to the Constitution than a single in its place. Yes, back when India got freedom from the British era, that time it was used as a symbol of transfer, be it that way. But at this point in time, India, we have many other serious concerns and issues that needs to be given importance, such as the caste census, the socio-economic survey. These are the importance that we need to focus on at this point in time. We strongly believe that the symbol, Sengal may have significances, by hope or possibilities of to resolve in a great nation and things like that. But that's not of paramount importance. I strongly believe we should focus on areas of issues and concerns which the larger interest of the people of India, and because we understand that the government of the day is distributing 5 kg of ration to 80 crore people. So we have to ensure that we bring these 80 crore people out of poverty. That should be a focus area. Now, not that debating of Sengal on the parliament, and the Prime Minister is also not giving any importance to the Sengal placed there. So it holds no importance. The MP may have objected to his views on this one. So I strongly believe that it's out of context, and it's something to do with kingship, kingdom era, and things like that. So it doesn't hold any importance in today's day. People have more different issues that they want to. They want the parliamentarians and the member of parliament to focus on rather than these small issues.
Okay, let me in fact take that across to Dr. Kaushalkant Mishra. Your response, George Kurian, of course, giving the other perspective on the opposition. Your response, Dr. Mishra.
George Kurian is not himself is convinced why the opposition is opposing that Sengol concept. We have heard him how he's failed to even express what they have done. Actually, George Kurian himself supports the culture, but unfortunately, he is representing such party which is against this particular Indian culture. It is unfortunate that the Congress itself. I just want George Kurian, if you can express me, Satyameva Jayate, Yato Dharmastato Jayati, Jayate Yudhispartha, Na Bispars Deeptam, Sanno Varunam. There are thousands of each. I have told you about the Supreme Court.
What Dr. Mishra is saying, that at the end of the day, you are also wondering why this has become a controversy. Is that correct, George?
As I said, we have many other issues of grave concern as of today with respect to Indians and India.
But this is an ally of the Congress who has made this demand.
And one thing more important,
Party MP, he has raised this concern. Everybody has constitutional right to put forward their views. There's nothing wrong in it. But as of date, we respect the Constitution and we work on that, and that's what holds us importance. And so, a symbol or a Sengal in the Parliament building, holds no importance as such.
Just 2 minute interruption. We have seen G7 meeting where the Pope was present. Why he was present? Because he represents certain culture. Because all the 7 countries, most of them are Christian countries, and they favor the Christian. Their state religion is Christian, and that is why Pope was there. So if the same thing happened to our country, what they will do? Just can you explain me why the G7 countries have Pope invited Pope? Do you have anything? No. He just represents a certain culture. He just represents the faith. He just represents our old history, what we are, from where we are coming. But because of cheap politics, I am saying cheap, ghatia politics, this opposition is doing the same thing. And it is not the first time. It is a character of Congress. It is character of Samajwadi Party. It is a character of everyone, most of them, because they oppose the Ram Temple. They find out deficiencies in Ram Temple. They oppose Ram Setu everywhere, wherever there. And if we go to the Lutyens Delhi, we will find Aurangzeb Road.
Sanket Yanagi, come in here. He's also joined us. Sanket, we were trying to bring you in here earlier, but I don't think you were with us at that point on this controversy over the Sengol. What do you make of this objection? Do you agree with it?
First of all, let us understand we are living in a democratic era. We have moved out of kingship. We have moved out of the era of the kings. Sengal in Tamil means it is particularly termed as a scepter, and we can also call it in Hindi as Rajdand. Rajdand is something, or the stick of a king. We have moved out of that generations. We have moved out of that culture. We have moved out of that era. So having come out of it, and we have accepted Constitution as supreme, Constitution as the guiding principle, Constitution as the ultimate power and authority. Constitution is ultimate. So that being the case, so sidelining the Constitution.
Do you believe then that the Ashok symbol should also be removed from the Indian flag?
That is not the concern at all.
And the Sarnath lion should also be removed from Parliament?
Why we put our hand on the Gita when we take the oath? Can you tell me? In the court, we put hand on the Gita. We don't put our hand on the Constitution. Why it is so? Can you change that? It is just the faith.
No, let us.
You don't have any argument.
Let me clarify, because I am being asked the question and I would be answering this point. Let me make it one by one very clear. When we are very clear that we have moved out of the colonial era or the era of the kings, and we are in a democracy, and the Constitution is the only guiding principle which ultimately defines the rights and privileges and the duties of the individual citizens and the powers of all the authorities concerned, then let us not take any step which would undermine the respect, dignity, and decorum of the Constitution. And more so, the House of the People and the Constitution, which is the guiding principle, guiding factor, it is ultimate. I cannot say that it is just one or two. It is ultimate. So it is not appropriate in one way or other, or directly or indirectly, to make any attempt to undermine the dignity and decorum of the Constitution. And in my opinion, an unholistic attempt was made, which is not acceptable. Somehow it is, whether because of the political reasons, because of vote gaining, whatever could be the reason. I'm not going to that aspect of the matter now. But now, what matters and what is important is that to restore democracy, to restore dignity, and to restore dignity and decorum and respect to the Constitution. That's all is the ultimate. Should be the
I'm
ultimate.
afraid I have to intervene.
Please go ahead, Ramaswamy.
Yes. So first, the meaning of Sengol, I'm not sure where that's gotten from. That's definitely wrong. I speak Tamil. I live in Tamil Nadu in Chennai. Sengol comes from the term semmai and kol. That means integrity, straightforwardness, and nermai meaning rightness. So it is about someone who.
So Sanket has given a wrong interpretation, is what you're clearly saying.
Oxford Dictionary definition.
Righteous rule. So that Tamilians have, this is the understanding from the Tamil language. So someone who provides a righteous, integral, and impartial, fair rule. So that is what it's called about. It is not about who is the ruler. It is about how the rule is. That's what it signifies. And that's how it historically has. That has gone from not just monarchs, from kings, from local rulers, from village heads. That has happened throughout time, not just with monarchs alone. That's the reason I'm surprised. Even history shows differently where Sengol or the equivalent scepters have been used. Today, in all courtrooms, you can find scepters. In sub-collector's office, you can find scepters. Why have these practices been there? That is just to demonstrate that you who are taking care of the people, who have an obligation to the people of the country, to the common man, to the last man, you will have to be righteous, you'll have to be impartial, and you'll have to be fair. That is what this demonstrates. And if people are not able to see this, that is what the constitution wants. So the Sengol represents what the constitution wants, the characteristic of the representative of the people to be. The problem is the representatives of the people who come from these parties do not have those characteristics. They are not righteous, they are not integral, they are not fair, they are not impartial. That's the reason they do not want the Sengol. They do not just respect the culture, but they do not have these characteristics either. Otherwise, they would have understood where they come from and would have asked for these things. I'm surprised once again that they are representative of the people. And there was one more question that was raised, that democracy is all the more important. Today, democratically, the people have voted. There is one largest party. They have a considerable majority. They have more than 272 that is required to form the government. Today, let us respect that democracy, that will of the people.
Yes. Yes, Sanket.
Sengal, which I'm now referring to, is the dictionary from English to Tamil. It says it is called a sector. It is also been called as a Sengol, and it is also called as verge, and wand. In the sense, it is a Rajdand, or it is some estate which is in the hands of the Raja or the king. When it is very clear that the purpose for which it is being used, where it is being used, and the significance of the same has been already understood. So when we are living in
you have a problem clearly with, of course, the Chola dynasty, which had ruled India?
No, I'm not having any objections. We have come out of that era. We are living in a democracy where...
No, but that's why I asked you earlier, should we remove the Ashoka symbol as well from the Indian national flag, if we've come out of that era?
We are not living in the era where one person was a king.
So we should remove the Ashoka symbol from our flag as well?
There is no discussion about Ashok symbol at all. Ashok symbol has been accepted as a national emblem. And my question to all of us...
No, if the Ashok symbol is accepted, and that was from the Ashoka dynasty, how is the Sengol different, which was from the Chola dynasty?
So if we can see about the legislation pertaining to national flag and national emblem, Ashoka symbol has been accepted as the national emblem, whereas Sengal is not. If that is the case, is there any attempt to make it as a national symbol or national emblem?
Okay, Dr. Kaushal Kant Mishra, there's a clear distinction, says Sanket Yanagi. Why bring in the Sengol? This is taking India back to the ages we've come away from, says Sanket. Go ahead, your response.
First of all, I would like to clarify, they are talking about the dictionary. They are finding out English to Tamil or English to Hindi dictionary. While this Sengol term is from the India, from the Tamil language, and Mr. Ramaswamy is clarifying that what is the meaning of Tamil meaning of this Sengol, they are defining it clearly, so they don't have any faith in our language also. That is the problem. They have tried to find out everything in other countries' language. English is not our language. Tamil is our language. Sanskrit is our language. Hindi is our language. Why they are not finding out Hindi to English translation? They are finding out English to Tamil, English to Hindi. That shows their thinking level. That is the problem. They don't believe in the country. They don't believe in the history. They don't believe in the culture. I am asking, during the first constitution, there are multiple figures still existing in our constitution. And what is the motto of our constitution? The democracy. It says that by the people, for the people. Who's the people? People is from the India. They are residing here for thousands of years. They follow certain culture. First of all, you go and I am not telling you, sorry to say, but your party people, those who are saying that it is representing some other culture. It represents our Indian culture. You have to understand, you cannot oppose our own culture. That is the problem. And this you are doing because you have to support them because they are supporting you in the Indi Gadbandhan. That is the problem. This shows the cheap politics. I am clearly saying it is nothing else but cheap politics. But India is seeing, public is seeing what you are doing. And
no, Sanket is not from any political party, but that is his point of view. Yes, Sanket.
First of all, there should not be any political debate on this issue. Let us understand. No, one by one. No, please understand. Please have a patience so that I can clarify my point.
It's a no, because it's a
political debate.
political representative who's given the letter in the first place.
No, let me
It's a
understand.
political debate. You are saying it is not a politics.
No,
Obviously,
let
it
us
is political
understand the
debate.
meaning of it first. In understanding the meaning,
First, you try to find out the meaning from Tamil to Hindi or Tamil to English.
First of all, we call the Lok Sabha or the lower house as the house of people, where the people's representatives would be the ultimate lawmaking authority. The power rests with the house of people and the members of the house of people and the Lok Sabha. When the people in the Lok Sabha, that's the members or the representatives of the people who have the ultimate power under the constitution, we the people of India, then where is the Sengal coming? Who is supreme? Whether the people are supreme, people represent again the constitution represents the people. That being the case, when the people are the ultimate authority and who are represented there in the house through the constitution, and the constitution is supreme, where is the king and Rajdanda coming here? Who is supreme here?
Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.